I'm Tom Kreager with the Daily News Journal. He's Michael Murphy with the Tennessean, and we are at the DoubleTree Hotel here in Murfreesboro, where the TSSAA Legislative Council has voted 5-4 against a public-private split. Michael, first, we've talked to people. What's your initial reaction?
Well, as we got closer to the actual vote, I got the feeling it was going to be closer. At first, I felt like, it was going to be a split in a pretty lopsided margin, and it really wasn't 5-4. I think in the recent weeks, people have really started looking at other factors and thought more about the decision than just their score.
Bernard Childress addressed the committee or the council beforehand. He's said, "Hey, we've now earmarked the problems that have made it a non-level playing field." And the ruling that's come out today is it has been passed that they have until mid-September to come up with to address the different things. Student employment is one of them. Giving financial aid to family members that are not athletes. Coaching non-faculty coaches. There are some issues they're going to address. Bernard says by sometime in August he will have those options to the Legislative Council to look at, and that in September they will meet again and they will vote on that. What do you think? I mean, he says, Bernard Childress, the executive director, says he thinks he can address those things and level the playing field with those suggestions.
That was one thing he brought up at the work session last month that he addressed at the end. A lot of these problems, well, first of all, he said people would not address the problem. It was within the last month that people actually came forward and addressed the problem, and once he did, they were able to focus in, and I feel like that's what the TSSAA staff wanted from the beginning, as opposed to making a landmark decision, forcing schools against their will to go to Division II, alter the bylaws and give them a choice. If they don't want to agree to those, then they're going to Division II. If they do, they can stay in Division II.
But on the flip side of that is you've now got coaches, administrators saying, all right, you guys have spent 16 months working on a plan to save the public-private or to have a public-private split, and now you're asking for 2 more months. Why do you need 2 more months when you've had 16 months to work on this? And that's the big question I'm hearing from some public school coaches and administrators, and it's a valid question. I know that it came out late, but I think student employment is one of those topics that they've known that that's an issue for a lot of people. So there is some feedback there that is, hey, they're ready for a decision regardless of the decision. Everyone recognizes how big a decision this is, but they're ready for a decision to be made.
And I've heard grumblings since the decision that, well, we're going to meet in 2-3 months and do this whole thing again, and it kind of feels like that, but I guess we'll see.
Well, the good thing with that, and we're going to wrap this up, the good thing with that is this whole decision won't be in effect until the 2017-2018 school year. So this is a decision that had to be made today. It really doesn't have to be made in September. As a journalist, I hope it is made in September because at some point it's time to move on. One other quick note, the one thing that did pass is the Legislative Council and the Board of Control will have representation from the private school side. There will be one body from East, West, and Middle from private schools now, at least, on those 2 committees, and that passed by a 7-2 decision. But that's all we got for today. Read more on Tennessean.com and DNJ.com. I'm Tom Kreager with the Daily News Journal. You can follow me on Twitter at Kreager.
Michael Murphy with the Tennessean. Follow me on Twitter at Murph_TN Sports. That's Murph with a PH.